Shall we play a game?
Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. And today, we are doing one of my favorite movies of all time, 1983's Wargames. This was the first movie that either one of us has suggested to the other, and the other person went, "Oh my God, that's my favorite movie from when I was a kid." This movie, I owned it on VHS and I wore out the tape.
Yeah.
It was, I kept I told you this, I kept a phone book, a Yellow Pages under, hey kids, do you know what a Yellow Pages is? I kept it under my bed because not everybody had computers readily available at the time.
Sure.
And I had it like bookmarked to like the computers section, and I bugged my parents forever because I wanted a computer because apparently I wanted to hack into a military program in NORAD. And
Can I be honest with you? Similar situation for me. Love the movie. Wanted a computer desperately.
Yep.
I am a very spoiled child, so I pretty much got what I asked for if I begged hard enough. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I got a Commodore 64. So, but I wanted it not to hack the government, but to hack my school so I could change my grades.
Well, that too. That
was the only thing. I had no other ulterior motive. Like, very honestly, I was trying to hack the school to fix my grades.
I would be lying if I said that wasn't my top priority with a new computer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was like, oh, I can not pay attention and not go to class and still get straight A's. That's cool. I want a computer. So,
yes.
Before we get started, this is, according to IMDb, Matthew Broderick plays a young man who finds a backdoor into a military central computer in which reality is confused with game playing, possibly starting World War III. Very concise and to the point.
Yes, 100%. And I tell you, even reading that plot, I want to watch the movie.
Yes.
That is a very cool, weird, fucked up. Like, if they remade this movie with today's technology, it would be phenomenal.
They didn't remake this movie, but I guess it was like a part 2 to it. It was garbage.
Okay, so if we remade this movie today, it would be phenomenal.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we know what to take in, what to throw out, and we wouldn't have, for some reason, our main computer have like the prototype suit for Dynamo light bright suit in Running Man. Like the fucking lights that were beeping the whole time. I don't know what that was.
I don't.
Is that just some sort of weird visual to indicate to us that like the processor was running?
Yeah, I guess.
Because we didn't know what those were.
There's a couple of things that whoever directed this actually made some really good decisions. Because honestly, if you didn't have those lights on the Whopper machine, it would just be like a big metal box, and they're like, "There's a computer." So I guess they
stopped short of giving it a like light bright smiley face.
Yeah.
So I guess I should be kind of thankful.
Exactly.
And it just kind of looked weird, but it just, by today's standards, that kind of was like, what the fuck is the purpose of this? And I understand, for a 1983 audience.
Exactly.
You got to show something visually, but by today's standards, that was really fucking weird to look at.
Yep. The opening of this movie and the launch pad for this entire movie and the premise is the opening scene is
is Matthew Broderick trying to score some puss.
That's it. That's the C plot.
Yeah.
The opening
that's what catapults the entire movie. Watch what I could do. I don't have muscles, right? I'm not a very good student. They've already told us that. I know computers though, and I can fuck with the school.
Yeah.
Come on over here, boo boo. Watch what I can do. Fucking. Oh my god, it's hilarious.
The movie opens up, and I totally forgot about this whole opening scene, but it opens up in this rural missile launch secret. It's really intense. Two soldiers, they get the warning, the lights and bells and whistles go off, and we're gonna launch these missiles because there's an attack. They get to the point where they have to turn the keys, and what's his name?
John Spencer.
Yes, there you go.
This Theo McGarry to you guys out there that are hip.
That's actually what I was looking for. He's human, so he doesn't want to. He's second guessing killing a bunch of people, and he doesn't know if this is a real thing, and yada yada. Cut to a meeting like, hey, these were all tests, and 22% of our missile commanders failed to launch the missiles, and we need to incorporate this new Whopper, which is the War Operation Plan Response computer. Yes. They introduce General Behringer in this, and John McKittrick. So they introduce these two characters in the meeting. McKittrick shows Behringer the Whopper machine, and I'll say this about Behringer throughout this movie. He has some of the best one-liners.
And I don't know if you want to trust the safety of our country to some silicone diode.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
About just on his one-liners, and we're going to skip ahead a little bit here. What does it mean to say,
God damn it, I'd piss on a spark plug if I thought it'd do any good. Let the boy in there, Major.
That's not an inconvenience to you. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to make it some sort of inconvenience.
You're getting too deep into the weeds on his one-liners. Because
I'm getting too deep into the weeds on English and idioms and how they're supposed to be delivered.
He gives the "I piss on a spark plug" line, and I laughed out loud. So fuck you. But
okay, agree to disagree. That's all you have to say.
You're out of line, sir.
He is doing his best, and I don't know, again, if this is the writer, the director, if this was like the actor putting his foot down.
Yeah.
And like, this is a character choice for me. But he is doing such a bad impression of George C. Scott in Dr. Strangelove.
We are rapidly approaching a moment of truth, both for ourselves as human beings and for the life of our nation. Now, truth is not always a pleasant thing.
Take us to DEFCON 3 and get SAC on the line. Where are you?
Sir.
Get me an update on those subs. I want to know what those bastards are up to.
They're the same guy. Just one's actually done well, and the other one is a fucking caricature of the guy.
I like his character in this.
I hated him.
I really liked it.
No matter how many times he is told, your technology is where the problem is. Oh, Buck! Screw your technology. That's dumb. Your computers are failing. Dude, your entire missile silo and satellite system is all technology. Why do you not believe in this one thing?
Because you're taking decisions out of human hands, and that goes against God. But that's the whole beginning scenes. Cut to Matthew Broderick in an arcade, which kind of dates this movie a little bit.
Yeah, spoiler alert, guys. It's dated as shit.
Matthew Broderick is playing Galaga. He finishes his game. He's late to school. He gets to school. I really like the in-class scene.
Maybe you could tell us who first suggested the idea of reproduction without sex.
Your wife?
Get out, baby. Get out.
Your wife!
Oh!
You're lucky you didn't get punched in the fucking face. Fucking asshole. Unbelievable.
Oh, shit. So he gets kicked out of class. He's waiting for the principal. As he's waiting for the principal, He slides out the little thing. He looks, and there's the password to get into the school's computer, which they change every few weeks or so. Jennifer, played by Ali Sheedy, picks him up on her dirt bike and gives him a ride home. He's showing her, because he's trying to live that puss life. He shows her that, that he can hack into the school's computer with his awesome 80s computer with the giant floppy disks.
It looked like a fucking Nintendo cartridge.
Yes.
That was crazy big.
And back then, everything just hopped on phone lines. Like, everything was about tones and phone lines. Like, and that's how...
You got mail. That was even before that.
It was. So he changes her grade. She gets pissed.
There, you just got a C. Now you don't have to go to summer school.
Change it back.
Why? They can't possibly just...
I said change it back.
She leaves. He changes it anyway.
Good luck on prom night, sweetheart. Because this guy does not appreciate no.
Exactly.
Because at the end of your protesting, he's still going to be like, "Yeah, I know what's good for you. Yep. Just take this pill."
He is going through a magazine and he sees Protovision, which is a game company, and they're coming out with a bunch of new games, and he decides he's going to try to hack into Protovision. So he finds the phone number and finds out where it is in California, and then just has his computer just start calling every number to see if he can hack into a computer. Jennifer comes back to him and says, "Hey, I want you to change my grade." And he's like, "Already did it. You're welcome."
Yeah. Guess where this pinky's going?
She starts asking questions about the phone numbers and like what's the computer doing. He explains it to her. And then he's like, "Well, let's see what numbers it found and whatever." So one was Pan Am, so they book a reservation for the two of them to Paris. But then they find this number and it doesn't identify itself. He tries to get in. He kind of explains to Ali Sheedy how computers back then work, where you can ask it for help and yada yada. Goes back and forth. They do get in because he asks it for help with games. And it starts listing all the games from chess to global
backgammon.
Yeah, global thermonuclear war.
Just throw it in the mix. Chess, backgammon.
It progressively gets worse. It's like chess, backgammon, poker, and then
Stalingrad.
And then he can't get in
because he needs the password.
Because he needs the password, yeah. So he's trying to get in. He can't log in. So he goes to see his nerd friends.
The stereotypical horrible nerds.
I love this scene, though. They actually warn Matthew Broderick. They're like, "Listen, I'm looking at these things, and this isn't a game company. Like, after looking at all this, it's most likely that this is some military classified information and interactive games." And he's like, "Yeah, I want to play the games." They're like, "Gonna hack into the military? Cool. Find everything you can about the designer and try to guess his password into the back end, because everybody designs a back end." He then misses a week of school because, like you said, he gets tunnel vision. Ali Sheedy comes back to his house. There's shit everywhere. There's papers, and she's like, "Dude, you haven't been at school all week." And he's like, "I've been doing some reading." Some reading. Dude, you went fucking like Rain Man on this shit. Like,
dude, your bedroom looks like a serial killer's living room. Like, it's disgusting.
Yes. They do guess. He guesses the password is his son, who died in a car crash with his wife. And his son's name.
Well, technically, Ali Sheedy guesses it.
Yes.
Matthew Broderick's missed a week's worth of school. It took Ali Sheedy 5 minutes sitting down and just being like, "Oh, here's some research. What was his son's name? Joshua?" That'd be probably the fucking code.
Joshua.
Can't be that simple.
Just FYI, for people that have, normal human emotions
Yeah.
and their son dies, that's the password.
Yes.
Just type that shit in.
So they get in, and this is one of the best decisions that the director made. I'm assuming it was the director that made this decision. But they gave the computer a voice. Like,
Yes.
they made it a character in the
Yes.
movie.
Shall we play a game?
They get in, and this fucking computer is got a hard head. I'll say that. It keeps like, hey, you want to play some chess?
How about global thermonuclear war?
Wouldn't you prefer a good game of chess?
It's begging you to do anything
Exactly.
but start thermonuclear war. Just
So,
anything but that.
so Matthew Broderick's character is like, no, I want to play this goddamn war game, and let's see.
Later, let's play global thermonuclear war.
Fine.
All right.
Yes, I am going to destroy the world whether you like it or not because I'm an emotionless fucking... I was going to say machine, but he's not even that because the machine actually has feelings and is trying to tell you, don't do this.
Yes. So David decides to be
The Terminator?
the Russians in this
Yeah.
game. They start playing global thermonuclear war. NORAD goes crazy. All the bells and whistles, and it's basically, it looks like on their screens like the United States is getting attacked by Russia.
Seattle, Las Vegas, and where was it?
I forget.
Some other place like in Montana.
Yeah. And they go nuts. They're scrambling. And then in this scene, David turns off his computer because he's got to go secure the trash.
Yep.
Because his dog knocked over the trash. So he turns off his computer, and all of NORAD's computers go blank.
Yeah. David is Skynet at this point.
Exactly.
He is in charge of the United States nuclear arsenal.
Yep.
And apparently Russia's, which I also don't get.
Yeah. They but that's just that's just a ghost. That's
Right. That's
not
the simulation.
Yeah. So NORAD realizes that someone is hacked into their system.
We don't know how it happened, but someone on the outside set an attack simulation into the Matrix simulation.
Somehow through the back end, people are losing their shit at NORAD. Everybody's looking at John McKittrick like, your computer fucked us.
Hey, asshole, it's 1983. You haven't heard the name Gates or fucking Jobs yet. How about you back up just a little bit and let me breathe?
Computers have only been a thing for 5 years. Slow down.
And by the way, Dabney Coleman, usually when you let somebody walk off of a project where you're controlling a nuclear arsenal, you know everything about the ins and outs, and there's just this tiny itty-bitty back door people are able to sneak through.
Yep.
That nobody caught that designed it.
Yes.
That means David, Matthew Broderick's character, is literally the best computer engineer on the planet at that point.
Yes. Yes. So
with the help of Alice's human emotion.
Yeah. The next day, it's the big scene where Matthew Broderick gets his report card, and he's got they're like, oh my God, we're so proud of you. Like, you did so well. And he's like, oh, shucks. But he sees on the news that all of this stuff happened. There's this big computer issue at NORAD, and he's like, holy shit, I think that was me. He then calls Jennifer. Jennifer calms him down because he's freaking out. She's like, dude, just get rid of everything. Don't call the number again. Easy peasy. We're good.
Yeah.
Well, the only problem is the computer keeps calling him back.
Greetings, Professor Vulcan.
Why won't you talk to me?
I feel lonely.
Please, David, be my friend.
So they find David at a 7-Eleven. The government.
Remember those days?
Oh yeah.
Wait, would you hang out at 7-Eleven?
Hell yeah! Get your Slurpee on.
I spent so much time eating those shit hot dogs.
Oh God, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's half the reason why my body looks the way it looks now. But they take him into custody. They bring him to, which that kind of, I was just like, why would they take him to the place where he just hacked into? Like,
that was insane.
So,
like, you think this guy is like committing espionage and
yes,
possibly treason if he's not a Russian sleeper cell.
Yes. And
you're going to take him right into the fucking belly of the beast.
Well,
here you go. Here's our entire system. Walk around free and behind me so you can check out everything we got running here.
Well,
I want you to be fully aware of how we run shit.
They take him into like the medical facility of NORAD, like, and they put him in like an exam room with all kinds of sharp utensils and equipment, and like, yeah, sure, let's lock him there. He's guarded by the Micro Machines guy.
Better get it before it takes off. The new Micro Machine mini cargo plane playset. Remember, if it doesn't say Micro Machines, it's not the real thing.
Probably not, but whatever.
At least his cousin. Motherfucker's related to him if it's not him. I know that. I know a Micro Machine Man family member when I see it.
He tries to explain to John McKittrick and anybody that'll listen that, like, hey, I'm just a kid. I hacked it. I just want to play some games. I thought this was Protovision, which isn't the truth. He actually knew what he was getting into.
Right. And by the way, when you say anybody that listens, that would be nobody, because nobody's listening to this.
Nobody.
They have built him up in between finding out that they have been hacked and finding David and bringing him in. They have built this guy into fucking La Femme Nikita. Damn. This is the best spy kid out there.
Absolutely. They go down the list of...
He does fit the profile perfectly. He's intelligent, but an underachiever, alienated from his parents, has few friends. A classic case for recruitment by the Soviets.
So yeah, they build him into like the best spy. He's like 007 for Russia at 17. Yeah. So McKittrick takes him out, shows him around, like, hey, this is what it is. He's just trying to get the truth out of him. He takes him into his office, and David's trying to explain, like, your computer called me. I was just going to be done with everything because I was like, oh, shit. McKittrick gets called out. Doesn't believe him. They're talking down on the floor. And then David logs into Joshua again through McKittrick's computer, like, bro.
And that one's on McKittrick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. David's a 17-year-old kid. He's going to be a 17-year-old kid. McKittrick just like, hey, kid, why don't you stay in here unguarded?
Listen.
Do your thing, bro.
All I'm saying.
You want to use the computer? You need a couple bucks for a bus ride home? How about a gun to help break you out?
All I'm saying is, at the beginning of this, you said, man, this kid's got balls to talk to his teacher like that. And I do agree. Do you know the amount of balls it takes to hack a computer while you're at fucking NORAD in like the main guy's office? Like,
we've slipped into a literal mental disorder at that. You got a problem.
Exactly. Nope. Like he's on the verge of psychotic. Like there's that. That's where that is. But he hacks in. He's trying to get it to stop. The computer doesn't stop. It's like, hey, this is what's going on. They see him messing around, so they take him back into custody, back into the little medical area. He then breaks out of that by hacking into the keypad via tones. He records the tones from the keypad, breaks out because not only is the Micro Machine Man his guard, he's also a sexual predator.
I'm working.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Stop it.
Oh, you have pretty eyes.
That's original.
So
I was going to say, he's the base rapist.
Yes. So while he's, preying on his next victim, Matthew Broderick sneaks out, escapes with the tour that's there, that's touring through NORAD.
Because, you have a tour through our most sacred defense site on the fucking planet. Are you crazy?
Exactly. And then
welcome, city of Birmingham.
David leaves. He he escapes. He calls Jennifer and says, "Hey, I'm in a bad way." Ali Sheedy gets him a plane ticket and flies him to Oregon, I believe. They're in Oregon. They go to find Falcon. They find him on Goose Island because he's under an alias now. He's not dead. And they try to convince him, like, you need to come back. Like, this is what's going on. And Falcon goes into this, let me show you a movie, kids.
Nature just gave up and started again. And when we go, nature will start again. Nature knows when to give up, David.
His obsession, first off, with dinosaurs. I'm sorry to interrupt you. His obsession with dinosaurs is so weird. Like, he's flying a remote-controlled pterodactyl.
Yes.
Then he launches into, can you believe people don't think these things fly? Bitch, it's 2020 and there are people who think the earth is flat. Yeah, I can think somebody doesn't believe the dinosaur flew. That's pretty easy to grasp.
They're like, screw this guy. We got to get out of here. And we got to find a boat or something to get off this island. And we need to stop this thing. You know, two 17-year-old kids. Apparently Falcon has like this epiphany, like, maybe they're right. I guess humans are okay, considering, you know, I'm a human. And
we're skipping over two points. One, and these are very important to the plot. One, David finally gets the kiss that he was denied on the ferry.
Yes.
Because he got denied hard on the ferry. Like, he put his hand up, cusped her head and starting to like rub her earlobe for some weird fucking reason.
I forgot about the C plot that he was just trying to get some puss.
Puss. Goes in, gets kissed on the cheek. Ugh, you crashed harder than that fucking pterodactyl.
Yeah.
That was rough. And then, so you finally get your kiss on the beach, but this is only, you convince Ali Sheedy that it's probably a bad idea to try swimming in the Pacific Northwest Ocean at night, 2 to 3 miles.
Yeah. But Ali Sheedy's...
Hey, the world's going to end with nuclear disaster. Let's drown first.
Ali Sheedy, though, let's say this about her. She is a savage in this movie. Every scene is her running, working out, stretching. She's a fucking savage. She's like, 2-3 miles? I got this shit.
I saw her camel toe as much as I saw the dude in Point Break's asshole. So.
But there's a chopper that comes in after they kiss on the beach, and they think it's the government coming back after them. It's actually Falcon who made a phone call and was like, listen, we're going to go. They get to NORAD just in time before the doors close. They're locking everything down. They go to DEFCON 1. It's World War III. And Falcon goes in and shows up at NORAD, tells Berenger, like, these are just ghosts. Don't launch anything. Don't launch any countermeasures. Berenger says, okay, I won't. He tells the president, you know, we're not sure what this is, so they decide not to launch anything. Everybody starts celebrating because, you know, they got everybody on the phone at all of these different sites.
Yep.
And as the bombs are going off, they're like,
yeah, we're here. Jesus H. Christ, we're still here.
Bitch, you're about to get court-martialed for that shit. You're on the phone with the fucking general of NORAD. That's my reaction if I survive a nuclear test, not a trained military officer at a missile site.
Yes. So after that scene, they notice that Joshua basically takes over and locks them out because he's trying to launch these missiles.
Yeah, he's like, bitch, I'm in it to win it.
Yeah, like
I'm Michael Jordan of artificial intelligence.
Yes.
I'm playing this game to win.
Yes. Joshua, the computer with the Whopper, is trying to figure out the launch codes. And he's going through all the possible scenarios and the possible codes to get it. And they keep announcing it. He's got 1 number. He's got 2 numbers. He needs 10 to launch the codes. And they're trying to figure out, because they're all locked out, how to break back in.
Yes.
And Matthew Broderick, obviously, is there with Falcon. And he's like, games. Yeah, let's go to games. We'll play games.
Wants to play a game, then play it.
They pull up the list of games. They finally get in, pull up the list of games. Tic-tac-toe isn't on there, which they had just had a conversation about with Falcon.
Yep.
And
they foreshadow this at the beginning of the movie with Falcon's kid.
Yes.
Because he keeps beating the computer at tic-tac-toe.
Yes.
Like an early prototype version of it.
So he plays like one game, and he's like, dude, is there any way to get this to play itself?
Like, I'm not doing this all fucking day.
Exactly. So they...
If I'm dying with some puss-puss. I'm not dying playing fucking tic-tac-toe against the T-100.
Exactly.
T-101.
So it starts playing itself, and they're like, ooh, what's it doing? And it's just flashing, playing a million different games. And they're like, oh, it's learning. So it plays itself, never wins, overloads. That's not how computers overload, by the way, where sparks start flying and like shit burns down.
They can burn out, but they don't blow up.
Yeah, exactly. It gets the codes.
10, it's got the code, it's going to launch.
Everybody's shitting their pants, but then it starts playing an actual war game, not an actual war game, but a simulated war game, and it keeps playing different scenarios. The one note I had about this scene was, if you have epilepsy, leave the room.
Oh, dude.
If
you play that scene with EDM over top of it, you are having the best fucking rave of your life.
Oh my God.
Get some glow sticks and just go to town.
Dude, you know what? I'm going to put this movie on mute and play some dubstep to that scene and see how that goes.
Yeah. Just let me know what hospital they take you to.
The message is the only winning move is not to play.
Message.
We talk about, in other movies that we've covered, consequences, right?
Mm-hmm.
After the only winning move is not to play, everybody starts to celebrate, and John McKittrick tussles David's hair. David gets his hair tousled instead of being arrested and thrown in jail for almost destroying the whole planet.
Yeah. I mean, you could do what the government typically does with our mastermind criminals, which is just offer them a job.
Yeah.
But the way to go, kid. Way to bring us right to the brink. And like literally erode all kind of relations between the U.S. and Russia at the time.
Yes.
I know they weren't great, but they were talking.
Yeah.
We were getting close to you have 6 more years left and that bitch is gone.
Yep.
This is wiping all of that.
Yeah.
And to think you just go back to DEFCON 5 because you thwarted the computer. No, you're sticking around at 3-2 for at least a few weeks.
Yeah, that's fair.
Until you can fully comprehend what just happened.
Yeah, that's fair.
Colonel Conley, take us to DEFCON 5.
Yes, sir.
There are just so many little things throughout this movie where I still love it.
Oh, me too.
Dabney Coleman being the main technology guy, not really understanding the technology he's in charge of. He's just more of like a salesman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The general, just the world at the climax of the movie. He has to pick, they think they've won, find out the computer's still going, right? The general picks up the phone and says, I got to call the president. Pauses because he's got to call the president to tell the president that they're not out of this. They may actually still have to go through with this.
Yep.
Whole nuclear war thing. Pauses to make sure he gets a couple digs in on Dabney Coleman.
What does WAPA recommend, Mr. McKittrick?
Full-scale retaliatory strike.
I need some machine to tell me that.
There's another scene too. He always has shit to say when he's on the phone with the president or about to get on the phone with the president. Because there's another scene earlier where he's on the phone with the president and somebody comes up to him with like a sheet of paper, like does this, like points at it.
Yes, sir. Oh, that's a load of shit. No, sir, not you.
Unless you have something to show me that pertains to this particular conversation, don't talk to me while I'm talking to the president.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
So
my mom wouldn't let me talk to her when she was talking to her parent back home when I was coming up. Mom, I'm on the phone, Corey. Can't you see that? You think the military would have some kind of sense about that shit.
Oh, absolutely. The at least your mom said, "Hey, I'm on the phone." My mom just hit me with a wooden spoon, and I went away.
Yeah.
Um,
Told you I was very.
so what we do? Does this movie stand the test of time?
No,
No.
but it's a very good movie. It's dated. It's so epically 80s.
Yes.
It is egregiously 80s. Again, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But you are going back. It's almost like Red Dawn kind of thing, where you're going into a time capsule to see the Cold War.
Yeah.
And how what the Cold War did to people, and how it made people think. But you're not going into it for like a good computer movie. The technology's out of date.
Yes.
The clothes are out of date. Everything about it is out of date.
I'll say this. The only reason I'll say it does stand it doesn't stand the test of time if you're just basing it on how outdated it is. Because if that's the only line, then yeah, it's absolutely it doesn't
it's
stand.
Still a great movie.
Yeah. But the movie itself, the writing, the whole script, it kept me. There aren't a lot of movies these days. There's a lot of movies these days where I just about halfway through, I'm like, give or take, and I could walk away from this movie right now and not even care. I was bought in and sold in this movie the entire time. Like,
oh, the plot is fantastic.
Yeah, everything is great. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm a 50-50. Like, 50% of me says yes, it does stand the test of time, because I could watch it in 2020 and still go, God damn, that's a great movie. And be honest about, like, not like, ooh, it's a guilty pleasure. This is a good movie. But the other side of me is like, yeah, with the computers and a lot of the other things, like, it's so outdated that it leans towards. So I guess I'm a 50-50 on this one.
Well, and that it's kind of like Point Break was for the opposite of how Point Break was for me, because it stood the test of time being Point Break.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it as a movie.
Yeah.
There were far too many plot holes in it. But as far as standing the test of time, yeah, it's there. Yeah. You could put that movie on and it wouldn't be that odd to see people how they are and how they speak, blah, blah, blah. This is the exact opposite. Really good movie, very entertaining.
Yeah.
Just very, very 80s. You can't escape that. If you update the technology in it, movie's great.
Oh, no, absolutely. I was just about to say, if again, I hate remakes, but if you were to not have a continuation or make a part 2 or a second edition like they did with this movie before, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, whenever it was, if you just remade this movie, literally almost shot for shot, scene for scene, remade it, updated all the technology in it, this movie would be a box office smash hit.
Yes.
So
Matthew Broderick was fantastic. Ali Sheedy was great.
Yep.
Everybody did a really good job. I like the movie. I definitely recommend the movie.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's really it. Just kind of, you got to slip and slide past some of the shit they do.
Yeah.
Because it's just a little off.
Agreed. 100%. But yeah, at the end of the day, this movie's freaking fantastic. I still love this movie. It's one of those movies that I've watched it more than I think any of the other movies we've done that I've liked. Like this is in a, not a constant rotation, but like a semi-constant rotation for me.
Yeah, this is definitely every year.
Yeah.
Every 14 months, something like that, I'm definitely going to put it on.
Yeah, that's fine.
And if you want to put it on, it being you at home, not you, you can find it on Amazon Prime.
Yes, if you are a Prime member, it is free for Prime members.
Excellent.
Like and subscribe and share this shit with your friends. Damn it. I know a lot of you watching. I know a lot of you ain't subscribing.
Yeah, call them out.
Yeah, I'm gonna I am. I'm literally going to use my phone like David taught me to.
And with that, for Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 1983's Wargames.
Shall we play a game?